Hello everybody, Adelaja here. I'm back to talk about Nigeria and release my charge to Nigeria and Nigerians. And today I'm going to be talking about corruption. We cannot stop talking about the topic of corruption. The other time I released a video saying, is the fight against corruption working? And I said, no, for me, it's not working. And at least it's not the kind of result that we expect that we're getting. But still, today, I want to talk about, are there gains in the fight against corruption? Okay, we should not just point accusing fingers and just put all the efforts of people who are fighting against corruption to nothing by saying it's not working, that's all. That's what Nigerians like to do. But we should also acknowledge the good work that has been done, the good works that have been done, and the good efforts that people are putting into it. Yes, it's not working, it's not satisfactory, but we should still let people know that at least they are doing something good. If we keep on talking negative only, people's hands will be weak and people will just drop their hands and there will be no efforts at all. So today I want to talk about some gains, albeit little, but at least there are some gains that the fight against corruption has yielded. But before then, I want to show you a video that will show you why we must keep on talking about corruption. So let's see a video here that will show us that there is the need for every Nigerian to keep on talking about corruption and the need to fight against corruption. So let's have a look at this video. And this video will show you, is showing you a classroom. This is a classroom in Nigerian school, and say, why is it that people have been reduced to this kind of living when they have to go to a classroom? This used to be a standard school at a point, a school where some maybe prominent Nigerians have graduated from. But you see what happens when rain comes. You see the time, this is raining season, and there is raining season for, every year in Nigeria, and see what is happening. People, children, pupils are sitting down in those classrooms, and they, you see what is happening. The rain is falling right there. If you hear there is a sound there, but we'll remove the sound. The rain is heavy and they don't have any option. Can you imagine what is happening to their papers, to their exercise books, to their uniform, to their shoes, to their stockings? So these are just one proof why we all should keep on talking about the fight against corruption, and why I will keep on, supporting President Buhari, even though for me he has failed in this fight against corruption. And the reason he has failed is not because he's not talking about it or he's not fighting against corruption, but the reason he has failed for me is because he's approaching corruption from a very different angle. He's thinking that corruption is to fight corruption, you just need to punish and the people who are looting the country and take back the loot from them. But I personally feel that to fight against corruption, we need to to undertake a holistic campaign and propaganda that will, encompass the whole country, from kindergarten to university, from government ministries and to parastatals, government officials, to churches, mosques. Everybody must begin to fight against corruption, just like this same president did when he was there in the 80s, in 84. So that is the kind of response or the fight against corruption that I expected. But the kind of fight we are seeing right now is yielding, is a failure, like I said. It's yielding some result, but very, very few. But still today, I want to say, thanks to this fight against corruption, there are some loot and some money that has been recovered from some people, especially highly placed individuals in our society that were regarded or could have been regarded as untouchables. And these untouchables have been able to cough out some of the money that they have stolen from the Commonwealth of Nigerians. The first person that I want to talk about, thanks to this government, is Patience Jonathan. There has been, many people don't even take it serious. She's still a celebrity. She's still an important personality in Nigerian society. She's still being celebrated everywhere she goes to. And she's not in prison. Can you imagine? Former First Lady of Nigeria, Patience Jonathan, has been indicted in corruption and been found guilty. And the only thing they did is that she should just return the money. Well, and she's not been punished for it because she's not in jail. So, but even after she was accused of stealing the money, she was fighting it in court until the court took a decision that the sum of 9.2 billion naira and an additional $8.4 million, making the whole thing about, anyway, yeah. And also another about 2.6 billion naira were recovered from her. Now, when they recovered it from her, what she did is that she went to court. She went to court to fight that, no, the money should still be with her. What kind of salaries did she get? Where was she being paid the salary to be able to be in possession of that kind of money? So that forfeiture was regarded as interim forfeiture until another court, a higher court, now ordered her to return to the court, and the court found her guilty again. Then they now told her to forfeit that money that she had taken from Nigerian people. But she was not persecuted for it. She was not sentenced for it. She just gave the money back to the country, and that's it. But you see, if we really want schools like this to be taken care of, if we want government officials to stop stealing, there must be punishment for evil that people do. Now, but thank God, on June 1st, 2019, a Lagos High Court ordered the permanent forfeiture of those money to the federal government. And that is one gain, you could say. So there are some gains in this fight against corruption, but it's not holistic, it's not thorough, and it's not the kind of gain that we are talking about. If we really want the corruption to be defeated in our country, we must declare a total holistic fight against it. Now, I know there is another example of a so-called gain in the fight against corruption that I want to talk about. But there are many of them, but I just want to bring out the ones that are high profile, people that are untouchable in Nigeria. There are some people that are just untouchable, that are well connected. But the fact that these people that are well connected, highly placed, have been able to be made to answer in the court of law shows the commitment to some extent and the effort of the present government to really fight this thing. And of course, we know that Oji Kalu, who is a member of APC, is already in jail. So that is another example. But let me talk about another one right now, Bukola Saraki. Bukola Saraki is a whole family of political elites in Nigeria. And is like the family that is untouchable, because the father was a kingmaker in Nigerian politics, and was the governor, then the son, then the 2 times, then they became this Bukola Saraki was the governor 2 times, then he became the speaker of the Senate, and was the number 3 citizen in Nigeria. But despite that, but also they didn't send him to jail. They found him guilty. The court of law found him guilty of using the money of the state, of the country, and of the Kwara state to buy houses in Lagos. A federal high court in Ikoyi, Nigeria, on the 2nd of December 2019, ordered an interim forfeiture of 2 houses in Ilorin, Kwara state, belonging to this man, the immediate past president of the Senate, Bukola Saraki. Now, they found him guilty. They found that he has used the money of the state, of Kwara state, to acquire those buildings because he couldn't account for them. But still, they didn't send him to jail because people are afraid of political consequences. Because people are going to say the government is after opponents and opposition party, and it is because these people are. And this Bukola Saraki wanted to become the president of Nigeria. They just want to hold on to power, to keep on stealing. But the fact, at least, that the court of law has been able to not just find him guilty, but also withdraw and make him to forfeit those buildings also is a little bit of gain, but that's why I'm saying the fight is not total. It's not satisfactory, but at least people should know that there are some gains. The EFCC we should commend, because the EFCC are the ones who approached the court and demanded that these things should be proven in the court of law. And the court of law found the man guilty, but he was let go. They let him go. And the worth of those buildings is 1 billion naira. 1 billion naira building where people are just living. That they acquired it, and it was proven in the court that this man acquired those buildings through process of unlawful activities by stealing the money of Kwara State people. And the Kwara State, some of them people who are the ones who are going to be fighting to defend him and to, from even being prosecuted. That is the kind of country we have, because the mindset, the psyche of our people has not been, sanitized to the extent that it doesn't matter who you are. If you are corrupt, you have to answer for it. Now, there is another third person I want to talk about, another high-profile person. This person was the head of all civil service in Nigeria. And if you look at her, she looks so she looks so holy and so righteous, because she's I think it's a member of, is it Winners or Redeemed? One of those high-profile churches as well. I mean, she was and everybody is thinking, oh, she's born again, until they found that she's been stealing money from the federal government. Her name is Winifred Oyo-Ita. Winifred Oyo-Ita was found guilty on the 26th of 2019 by one of the federal high court in Abuja. And the Abuja court also, instead of sending him to prison, they only ordered the permanent forfeiture of assets, a lot of assets that this woman has used her position to buy all over Abuja. So the head of service, the head of service of Federation, Mrs. Winifred Oyo-Ita, she was first of all saying, oh, okay, let me retire in dignity, in honor, until the court, and in court they go by evidence, until the court, prove that, and they ask her, okay, what salary did you use? How did you said it was gift. Okay, who gave you the gift? So anyway, this woman, Winifred Oyo-Ita, was placed on indefinite suspension at first, because of the allegation, over corrupt allegations that were launched against her by EFCC, because EFCC had been monitoring her. And then, but instead of sending her to jail, because they only fired her after the court had confirmed that, yes, she had been stealing money, she had been receiving bribe, and the properties were as a result of bribes and things like that. So the funds were voluntarily what she did, instead of going to jail, and they just retired her, and the argument by a lawyer is that the funds were voluntarily returned to the commission as proceeds of crime by unnamed suspects. So that is, it is just, they have returned what she has stolen. That since she has voluntarily returned the money and the goods, that she should be let go. They should let her go for free. So they let her go for free. So all these things show me on serious attitude in fight against corruption. If we really want to win this fight against corruption, you should not, all these three people that I mentioned, they let them go free. Patience Jonathan, Bukola Saraki, Winifred Oyo-Ita, all these people were let go free. What is the gain then in the fight against corruption? Just the fact that the buildings and the money they took were returned to the government. Is that a gain? Some gain, but I still think it's a failed effort, and it's not a serious effort in our fight against corruption. And but everybody, both the civil society, citizens, and government officials, all of us should be raising our voices to keep on pushing the government to do the honors, to do what is needed to make sure that we defeat corruption in our society, that we might be able to have schools, that we might be able to have hospitals, that we will not be having this kind of schools that I showed in the beginning, that corruption will become a thing of the past in our country. But we need a more serious attitude, both from President Buhari and his government, and from all of us as a whole, for the love of God, church, and nation. Peace. Sunday Adelaja here. If you believe in nation-building principles, please like this video, share it with your friends, and let's change our nations together.